We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
Hey guys, Mr. BXRP here, and welcome back. Today is December 22nd of 2020, and boy, have we had a crazy series of events or event occur in the last, in the last 14, 16 hours that has really just set everyone on fire. Okay, so last night, I don't know the time, it must have been 9:30 Eastern time. Things got crazy. So let's do this. Let's talk about the price real quick, and then I'm going to talk about what happened. And then I'm going to give you my opinion on this whole thing as far as the SEC is concerned. Let you know what I think of it, how I view it, and just my opinion on it. So anyway, XRP is at 47 cents as I'm making this video. Guys, this is fiatleak.com. You guys always ask, so it's fiatleak.com. XRP was about 52 cents last night before we saw the SEC is looking to sue Ripple. So it hasn't gone down that much. I mean, it was a drop, but look, we could have woke up this morning and XRP was 20 cents, and it's not. People are standing firm and they're not dumping their XRP, which is fantastic. I'm glad to see that. Bitcoin's at 23,372. Let's look at the market as a whole. And the market cap is at 653 billion. Bitcoin's at 23,320. Ethereum's at $626. XRP's at 47 cents. Tether's holding just under $1 at 0.999. And Litecoin's at $109.79. Okay, so last night I am just kind of getting ready to wind down the evening, and at 8:27 p.m., Brad Garlinghouse comes out with, "Today the SEC voted to attack crypto. Chairman Jay Clayton, in his final act, is picking winners and trying to limit U.S. innovation in the crypto industry to BTC and Ethereum." And it goes on to say, okay, so here's essentially, Ripple says it's about to be sued by the SEC. So essentially, Ripple comes out, right? Brad Garlinghouse comes out and gets in front of the story before there's an announcement from the SEC suggesting that they're about to be sued by the SEC. So he went on to say, Brad Garlinghouse went on to say, "We know crypto and blockchain technologies aren't going anywhere. Ripple has and will continue to use XRP because it's the best digital asset for payment speed, cost, scalability, and energy efficiency. It's traded on over 200 exchanges globally and will continue to thrive." That's 2 out of 3 tweets. And the third tweet was, "The SEC, out of step with the other G20 countries and the rest of the United States government, should not be able to cherry pick what innovation looks like, especially when their decision directly benefits China. Make no mistake, we are ready to fight and win. This battle is just beginning." You know, Jay Clayton is walking out of the office in a matter of days, and he's had years to have an opinion on this and has had no opinion on it. And he's about to walk out of the office, and suddenly he drops a stink bomb and walks out. This is craziness. I mean, absolutely craziness. So there's so much reaction. So many people showed their true colors in the since this has occurred. I'm going to talk to you about reaction. I'm going to talk to you about what people have said. I'm going to talk to you about what I think is going on and how I think it's going to get resolved. And it's just going to be my opinion. But this is I'm pretty fired up, actually. So if I sound passionate, I'm obviously very passionate about this subject. A little sip of water, guys. Okay, so let's look at some of the things, some of the reactions. So this is from Arthur Portilla, who's an attorney online on Twitter. He says, "My reading of this week," it says, "My reading," let's see here. I just had a text that was very important. Okay, "My reading of this last week, SEC versus Ripple, is that Ripple had some private talks with the SEC and knew beforehand about the imminent lawsuit, hence why Ripple threatened to leave the U.S. as a last resort attempt to make the SEC reconsider." Okay, so he's suggesting that they knew this was coming down in the last several weeks, and that's why they made the threat to leave the country to see if they could force the SEC's hand. Obviously, that didn't work, so that was his opinion on it. Okay. Anthony Pompliano comes out this morning at 7:44 a.m. with the most classless statement. I mean, this guy had every opportunity to show class and grace and didn't do it. He comes out with, "Good morning to everyone, except the people who thought they could sell unregistered securities and get away with it." You know, he has sat with Brad Garlinghouse. Brad Garlinghouse has graciously sat with him and done multiple interviews. Brad's never done interviews with anyone in the XRP community. He's never done it with any of the channels in the XRP community. He's never done it with anybody that he has invited to come to Swell. He's never done any interviews. We weren't lucky enough to get an interview with Brad Garlinghouse, but Pompliano gets interviews all the time. And he disrespects Ripple and Brad Garlinghouse in this way. I couldn't believe it. So Brad jumps in and says, and Pomp continues and goes on to say, "I listen to everyone's opinion, but they lost me when they openly became enemies of Bitcoin and the decentralized movement." Brad Garlinghouse jumps in and says, "I'm not an enemy of Bitcoin, never have been. I hold BTC, I'm bullish, as I said on your podcast. Oh, and good morning to you also." So, and Pomp goes on to say, "How much Bitcoin do you own? When are you going to stop dumping on XRP on retail investors?" Just being nasty, 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 showing his true colors. So this is who this guy is. Everyone knows it now. We've given him a lot of respect up to now, even though he hasn't supported our cause. But I don't think he's going to get a lot of respect from people anymore. The XRP community is over Pompliano for sure. So I jumped in. I shot out a tweet this morning and just said Ripple shouldn't grant this guy any more interviews in the future, and got a lot of support on that. And you know, I don't know why they do interviews with him, but I don't know. I don't think they should. So Vitalik Buterin jumps in, decides to stomp on Ripple as well, and says, "Look like the Ripple XRP team is sinking to new levels of strangeness. They're claiming that their S-Coin should not be called a security for public policy reasons, namely because Bitcoin and Ethereum are Chinese controlled." So, you know, I forget the history of Vitalik and Ripple, but I believe he got his start working with Ripple and the people at Ripple, and is the way I remember it and understand it. But people forget very, very quickly. And I think David Schwartz has been very supportive of Vitalik over the years, but I wouldn't expect that support to continue. That is for sure. Michael Arrington at Arrington on Twitter said, "Those of you gloating over U.S. government's attack on XRP should take a step back and think about where this all ends up. There's no coherence or logic behind these moves. It's spite and fear." I mean, man, I just cannot believe that, you know, here we have Brian Brooks from the OCC saying we're going to get regulatory clarity within 4 to 6 weeks, and this was 2 weeks ago. And then we have Jay Clayton drop a bomb on the way out the door. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Okay, Thinking Crypto, Tony at Thinking Crypto, he posted this. He said, "My hope is that Hester Pierce can help negate this BS lawsuit since Jay Clayton is on his way out. I hope they promote her to chairman," and I do too. I think she's fantastic, and I'm going to give you my opinion at the end of this video, what I think is going to happen, and I'll give it to you guys. XRP Crypto Wolf, shout out to CZ for supporting XRP. We should all be helping each other grow the whole industry together. CZ Binance, as a class act that he is, says, "Let's be decentralized, not divided. Let's help each other grow the industry." And certainly wasn't going to say anything negative about Ripple or XRP while others were doing it. From Cryptopolis, friend of mine. Cryptopolis says, "One scenario, if the SEC determines XRP is a security, it may no longer be traded on crypto exchanges. Once Ripple settles, pays the fines, registers XRP as a security, it trades on the NASDAQ. Either way, a win. Just be aware, crypto exchanges may delist until that happens." So I guess that could happen, but from what I understand, and I could be wrong, but if my memory serves me correct, EOS, Kin, which used to be Kick, and some others were also found to be securities. The companies had to pay fines, but I don't think they got delisted. So I don't think delisting is absolutely a mandatory thing. From Jay Hyatt at TwinPop14, my take, no surprise, as Ripple has been applying pressure to the SEC for months, and this is a parting shot. SEC says upon inception, XRP was a security. It is no longer a security due to decentralization. Pay a fine and go on with your day. Throwback courtesy of Bank XRP. So Bank XRP had this video from Heath Tarbert, and let's go back to, he's the CFTC chairman. So let's hear what he had to say. This is a 1-minute video. It's important, guys.
Is it a security, first and foremost? And if it's not a security, it is most likely a commodity. And so that is the initial sort of test. What I will say is the interesting thing, unlike other kinds of investment contracts, is a digital asset can transform itself throughout time. So you can have a situation where something in an initial coin offering is very much a security, but over time the system becomes more and more decentralized. The enterprise that originally sort of sponsored the currency is no longer in the fore. The thing is sort of running itself. There's an intangible value, that's there. So you can have things that actually switch back and forth. You could also imagine a scenario where something is very much decentralized, but then all of a sudden, there's a pullback. The company gets more involved in it. It starts to look more like a common enterprise where profits are derived from the activity of others, thereby meeting the Howey test. But I think all things being equal, if you approach it as, is this a security? And if you come to the conclusion it's not with the SEC, it's most likely going to be a commodity. Well,
it's amazing how other U.S. regulatory agencies have openly spoken, about this. And the SEC has been tight-lipped, zipped up, hasn't said a word for years, absolutely years. And they said Ether wasn't a security. They said Bitcoin wasn't a security. They never say anything about XRP. They keep quiet. And then the last minute they do. I mean, this is incredible, absolutely incredible. Mike Novogratz, who's never really, he's invested in Ripple, so technically he's invested in XRP, whether he likes it, knows it or not. He's never been very supportive of XRP openly, although I think he personally, wants XRP to do well. He's just looking for Bitcoin to do well first. But he said, while I won't comment yet on what it means for XRP or other 2017 launched coins, BTC and Ethereum seem to have SEC pass. I do find it strange that Clayton waited years to do this. I agree with him 100%. I don't agree with him on much, but I agree with him 100%, man. It's just the timing of it and how he did it was ridiculous. Okay, from Yoshitaka Kitao, he said Japan's FSA has already made it clear that XRP is not a security. It's so nice to have his support from Japan, by the way. I'm optimistic that Ripple will prevail in the final ruling in the U.S. SBI Holdings remains a steadfast partner to Ripple and looks forward to expanding together in Asia. Charles Hodgkinson did a video. I'm not going to play it, guys, but look for it on his Twitter. I didn't hear the whole thing. I heard a bunch of it, though. It's very supportive of Ripple and XRP from what I heard, and I thought it was really nice of him what he did. So it's nice to see some support out there. Okay, so let me talk to you a little bit about what I think, all right? I just randomly took this website because I wanted a picture of a pendulum. So if you're not driving, there's a picture of a pendulum here, okay? And being in business, and for those of you, I hope I can get this point across. When a pendulum is in the 6 o'clock position where it's straight down, it's in a neutral position. There's no movement. And XRP has been in this pendulum neutral position. There's been no movement in the sense that we don't know where it's going because nothing has been said, right? There hasn't been anything positive said by the government. There hasn't been anything negative said by the government. So it's been stuck in this neutral position. I will tell you this. Even when something negative happens, it's good because it makes movement, and movement is life. It moves the pendulum. So even though this negative thing has come out, it has caused the pendulum to move, and movement is life, and movement is good, okay? And I know you're like, well, why? Wait a second, it's negative. It's not a good thing. No, it is a good thing. It's movement. It means we're moving toward a resolution, okay? All of these other so-called securities, what did the companies end up doing? They ended up paying a tax, right? What do I mean by paying a tax? They paid a fine and they moved on with business. They weren't shut down. They continued on. If the worst thing that Ripple has to do is pay a fine, pay the tax to the man, okay, they can afford any fine they need to pay. In fact, better they pay a fine and get this resolved quickly and admit some form of whatever they need to do than to fight this thing in court for years, because fighting it in court doesn't help their customers, because their customers can't use XRP in the United States. So it doesn't serve their customers. It doesn't serve them, right? I mean, it doesn't serve them at all. They don't, I mean, XRP holders, I mean, they're not going to factor us in the decision, so I'm not going to mention that. But it doesn't serve Ripple. It doesn't serve their customers. So there's no need for them to sit here and fight this thing in court. Now, listen, I'm not an expert. I'm not an attorney. I am just a American businessman who uses common sense, and I bring common sense to my channel every day. And I don't see Ripple fighting this. I don't think they need to fight it. I think that they need to admit some form of whatever guilt the SEC wants them to admit to so they can pay their fine like everyone else and move on. To fight this thing in court makes no sense at all. So in a best case scenario, right, now that the pendulum's in motion, I think the best case scenario is that they come to an agreement with the SEC comes up with a fine, Ripple strokes a check, they give a designation because it's changed since then, which is should be obvious to the SEC, I'm sure, and they can move on. The banks can get off the sidelines, everybody can get off the bench, and everybody can get in the game and start using XRP and money flows in the United States and in the rest of the world. That's what I think is going to happen. I think this is going to expedite things quicker, and I think it's going to end up being a good thing, but this is my take on it, guys. But I think that's what's going to happen. So what do you guys think is going to happen? I mean, give it to me in the comment section below. I mean, listen, I mean, this comment section is going to be a mess today, so give it to me. Did you sell XRP? Did you sell all your XRP? Are you scared to death? Are you not scared to death? Do you think Ripple will pay a fine and move on and everything will be good? Do you think it'll happen quickly? Do you think it'll take a long time? I mean, what are you guys thinking? Excuse me. What are you guys thinking is going to happen? What are your thoughts? I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you think, okay? I'm telling you what I think. You just listen to my story. That's what I think. I want to know what you think, okay? So I know I was heavy and passionate in this video, but man, this is a passionate subject, as you can all imagine. I'm going to show you this video of this soccer player, and once you see it, I'll tell you why I'm going to show it. And it says, this man deserves an Oscar. Anybody that watches soccer sees this all the time. So here they're getting this big fight. Look at this, big fight. He just touches him on the neck, and the guy falls down, and next thing he's on a stretcher. Look at here's the replay. Watch this. Here we go. Ready? I love this commentator. I can't play it though because they'll definitely give me a copyright strike. Watch, he's gonna do some Spock action. He's gonna touch his neck, and the guy's gonna hit the ground. Watch this. And here we go. Ready? And the death Spock touch. Boom. Oh, he hits the ground. Boom. Okay. Reason why I'm showing that video, guys, is I'm not going to overreact to this news like this player did on the field. I'm not overreacting. And here's the best part. Here's the part that blows my mind. The market isn't overreacting. 47 cents XRP, which I think is still very, very good based on the news that we heard. And I haven't heard any banks or financial institutions or anybody that bought XRP over the counter joining in the lawsuit with the SEC because Ripple sold them XRP that might now be an illegal security. I haven't heard one news article today about anybody who's upset, wants their money back, and wants to give back their XRP. So if that happens, I want to see it. I haven't seen it. So until then, I'm not overly concerned. I think this thing is about to get hashed out. That's how I feel. Anyway, thank you for listening, guys. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not an accountant. I am not a securities lawyer. I'm just giving you my opinions, guys, and I'm not a crypto expert. So everything in this video today, in my belief in what's going on and what's happening, is just my opinion. It's not a professional opinion. You guys need to decide for yourself what you want to do with your investment. But I'm not changing my long-term plans. These are my opinions only. Don't make any financial decisions based on anything I say. Hey, please like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed by now, it's time to do it. Hang out with the cool kids and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button if you don't mind. Everyone have a great day, and I think we're going to be in for more and more news as the days go on. And I thank you all. Bye-bye.